Hello, my name is Senan White from the College of Agriculture, Food and Rural Enterprise. I'm Beef and Sheep Advisor, and in my current role I'm the Northern Ireland Sheep Programme Manager. This afternoon I would like to give you a short demonstration on how to use the rising plate meter, as we have here, which is a tool used to measure grass on farms here in the Mournes in County Down. The Northern Ireland Sheep Programme is an industry collaboration partnership between Dunbia, part of the Dawn Meat Group, the Irish Farmers General and ourselves at CAFRE. As part of the programme, the main aims is basically to increase the return on the 10 participating farm businesses that are involved in the programme through the increased use of best management practice and the adoption of latest technologies. There are 8 aims within the programme, and the one we're going to be concentrating on here today is the increasing the potential of grazed grass and the increased returns that it can bring to the farm business. One of the major aspects to determine how grass performance is improving is actually physically by measuring grass. Grass itself is measured in kilograms per dry matter per hectare, and several devices can be used to determine how well grass is growing on farm. What we're going to demonstrate today is this particular device called the rising plate meter. There are other things you can use, a simple sword stick, and also just using your welly boot with measurements on it can also give you a determination on the level of growth within the farm. Why measure grass, you ask yourself? Well, grass is the cheapest form of food if properly utilised for ruminant animals, and in this particular case sheep. However, every farm is different and every farm grows different levels of grass. That's dependent on several factors. Topography, rainfall, but most importantly soil fertility, and that is of paramount importance to determine the soil fertility before any level of grass management can be achieved. So, as with all programme farmers, soil fertility has been undertaken in the term of soil analysis, and the appropriate lime, P&K through fertiliser and slurry has been applied. That is of paramount importance before any grass measurement is undertaken. Once you receive the plate meter, it will be in its component parts. This one has been part assembled for the purposes of this demonstration. It's quite simple to put together. What we have here is the rising plate itself. We have the shaft that the plate slides over. We have the little rising shaft here again with each of these little grooves are ½ centimetre apart. We have the digital clock where the actual reading will take place, and then we have the other part of the shaft which you will actually be physically holding when you're taking the plate measuring. So first thing to do is obviously there will be a small screw at the bottom of this shaft here, so this will come separate. So you slide on the rising plate itself, try it as so, screw that right up till it is tight, and then this little washer and the screw goes underneath as such. Then the upper part of the handle will go in, and you tighten it up with a little bit of Loctite glue, I think, will be provided. So again, then that is screwed in tight to this, and then finally, depending on the model you receive, this little lock nut here will tighten up, and that there should be moving freely up and down the measuring shaft as such. Okay, so hopefully we've successfully assembled the rising plate meter. Just to make you aware, the actual plate itself is of a certain weight and a certain area. The reason this is done is that obviously different fields of grass have different densities, so this plate takes that into consideration. If you have a very wide open sward, well then there'll be less pressure on the plate itself, so it will go down more on the grass. If you have quite a dense sward, like possibly we have here today, generally in sheep swards, this plate will be held up by the grass, so it will give a higher reading, obviously a true representation of the sward. So that is where the reading comes into place. So the first thing we want to do is actually physically switch on the plate meter, and generally on the back you'll see an on-off button. Simply switch it on and you will hear it beeping. Now, depending on if you've taken any calibrations before, the reading on the right hand side should result in zero, should be in zero. If it isn't, you hold down this button, height reset, for a little period, and it should reset to zero. Please make sure when you do take a sample reading in a field that you make sure when you go to the next field that it is reset to zero. So basically now I'm just going to give you a few wee pointers that you need to take into consideration each time you go out to measure grass. Measuring grass during the growing season is important that you do it regularly, ideally every week. As the season moves on towards the autumn, when grass grows slows down, you may not need to go as often, but from this time on, basically we want to be able to measure grass weekly to see how growth is going. So before we go, as I say, to measure, we're going to use this particular field here. A couple of things just to reiterate: make sure it is reset to zero. Also make sure that there's no grass between the bottom of the plate and the little washer at the end, because that obviously can give a false reading. So make sure that is clean and clear from previous times. A couple of the other things I just want to say is this machine will generally take about 30 readings, which will be sufficient for a reading as a representation of that field. So it will give a double beep when it's near to 29 readings, and then a long beep when it's done the 30 readings, and that is the reading you want to use to give you an example of how much grass is in that field. So a couple of other things just to emphasize: when you're actually taking the reading, make sure that you don't give an average of the whole field. Do not pick areas because they are higher or lower than others. You want to give a representation of the whole field, so make sure you go across the field in a W shape. It's exactly the same as you would when you're taking a soil sample, and make sure you don't pick and choose areas. The other thing that's important, that the actual plate meter goes down as straight as it can, and do not push it any further into the ground. You're just letting it literally drop to the top, just the top of the soil, and that's the grass holding it up. Do not push it any further into the ground. The other thing I would say is make sure that you're not rolling it. Make sure it's not coming at an angle. You want to make sure it is going straight down. If you're going into a field like this here, where there's a slight bit of a slope, then obviously you want to make sure it's at the slope angle as well. But on a flat part of the field, make sure that it's straight down, up, straight down, up. And each time that is done in this model, you will hear a small beep, as such. And you heard there the double beep. So one more, and obviously I didn't get fully over the field. And you can hear there the double beep. So in this particular case, you can see that the reading is 2443. So that's 2,443 kilograms of dry matter per hectare, and that's a reading in this field. So say once that field's done, note it down either in the book or in the phone, and then go to your next field, whatever that may be, and before you start off, reset it to zero. Okay folks, thank you very much. Hope this was informative. It is a fairly simple process, but it is something that is very, very valuable in order to measure grass, in order to see how the farm is performing. Because remember, grass is the cheapest form of feed for animals, especially sheep in this particular case. So thank you very much, and all the best.